And joining us now to talk traffic in Calgary, Brian Romaneski, president of City Trend. That's a private urban planning firm. From Regina, David Seymour, senior policy analyst with the Frontier Centre. And in Vancouver, Patricia Gordon, sustainability consultant and project manager of Calgary's Planet and Imagine projects. Welcome to Alberta Primetime, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pat, I'm going to start with you. You've obviously been heavily involved with planning in Calgary. First, just give us a sense of what you see as the main drivers to tackle the issue in Calgary and whether or not they're working.
Well, I think briefly that all cities built in North America have been built around the automobile. And if we don't tackle the urban form issue, or at least have a holistic conversation about how we build our cities, then we're sort of just moving the deck chairs around on the Titanic with anything else around the edges in terms of policy. So what Calgary did back about 4 years ago was tackled their land use and transportation planning in an integrated fashion, saying that if we can reduce people's need to travel in the first place by putting our housing and work closer together so that people have the opportunity to make that choice, that's probably the primary thing that you tackle. But that's obviously a long-term, and it's a big project. The other things like demand and supply, in other words, increasing supply by widening your roads, increasing transit provision, is where government tends to operate, and things like tolls tend to be on the demand management side. So the City of Calgary has been doing and is doing a lot of those things, as are many other cities in Canada and North America.
Okay. Brian, obviously your role with your company is to deal with these types of issues and look at them and look at solutions. From what you're seeing in Calgary, the solutions that are being put forward now, do you see them as being effective? Will they be effective? Are they effective now?
Well, you know, I think Pat has a very good input in terms of trying to design our cities in a better ways than it's been done in the past. But I have to say there's really two avenues that we have to look at. One is how do we build our cities so we actually are making a better job at providing communities that people can live, work, and play. But also we have to look at the existing fabric of our cities, and this doesn't get changed overnight. And for that aspect, we have to look at the behavior and at how people are deciding or choosing to get from home to work, and how we can get everybody involved in trying to find creative solutions to the alternative to cars. So carpooling or a solution with transit. So there's really the physical implementation of new communities and the behavior for the existing situation we have to deal with.
Okay. David, from your point of view, the emphasis seems to be certainly in Calgary and Edmonton. Ring roads have obviously been high in the list of where some of these dollars are going, transit expansion, and then also, you know, we have certainly seen sort of education plans around encouraging people to use other modes of transportation. From your point of view, well, first, I mean, is that your assessment as well? Would you say that those are sort of the three main drivers that we're seeing in our major cities? And from your point of view, will they, could they, are they effective?
Well, I think your assessment of where Calgary is currently proposing to go is certainly true. I would advance a slightly different view to what Pat has advanced. She's referred to, you know, us being changing deck chairs on the Titanic if we do anything that involves continuing to use automobiles. I think we should remember that the history of the last 100 years has been unprecedented and incredible mobility for ordinary people, mainly based on the private car. And that's why you can play ice hockey in Auckland, New Zealand. You can play rugby in Calgary, Alberta, basically because a wide range of people can quickly move around the city. And rather than having a pessimistic view that we should try to stop people moving around, we should look to have older technologies that we've moved on from in the past, i.e. the train coming back. What we should be doing is, first of all, looking at how we price different transit options, looking to embrace the best and most modern technology, and we can talk about some of the technology that's waiting in the wings for private transport later on. And I think that if we do those things, the future can actually be one of a lot more mobility, a lot better technology, without having to have a lot of rules or trying to change people's behavior through any kind of top-down instruction.
Okay, a great start. We will take a break. When we come back, we'll have a closer look at what some of those alternatives might be, and we'll get to a ton of viewer feedback we had on the issue. Of course, and we want to know, how would you eliminate gridlock in Alberta's busiest cities? You can tell us what you think by following the contact links at albertaprimetime.com. More with our panel after the break.
I would suggest just more people take public transit and improve the public transit, because it's not very good right now.
Better public transit that runs more frequently.
Designated bus lanes that are separate from the main thoroughfares of the city.
Maybe raise parking fees more. I know they're already insanely high.
Not have all the construction at once during rush hour and at inopportune traffic times.
I don't see a reason for everybody to drive to point A to point B to come downtown Edmonton, because every bus leaves a shopping center and comes downtown.
You know, we've got a great transit system with the LRT, so I think blocking off some of the streets would force people to do a little more walking.